Oh my! I really wish we would have just played the whole song. Welcome back to Beyond the Journal with Erin and Lawrence. Say hi, Erin.
Hi, Erin.
Okay, every time. Anyway,
every time.
We are super excited to be back in the studio, back with Beyond the Journal, and we've got a lot on the agenda.
Yes, we do.
Are you excited?
Of course.
We got a lot of feedback.
We got a lot of feedback. Yes, we did.
People are showing us so much love.
Yeah, it's so nice.
I love people. People are dope. Well, our people. Our people are dope.
Our people. Yeah. No, it's been really awesome.
It has been.
Super appreciative. And it was a lot of fun.
And it's still going to be fun. And we're not going to stop.
Nope.
So, speaking of stop, where do we start?
Okay, so let's just kind of talk about a few things that are happening in the news right now.
Yes.
So we can recap all of that.
Okay.
So let's start with Melo.
Melo's back.
Listen, I don't know. I know New York loves Melo.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You guys love you some Melo. I get it. However, I know, Brickley is all about Melo and feels so strongly about him being back in the league, and he waited so patiently, and now he's here. And listen, he showed up and showed out.
He showed up.
No, he did.
Okay.
18 points.
Yeah. 4 for, what was it, 18?
No, no, it was not.
I know you sent me the stat. I mean, so let's.
Okay, here it is. 18 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists. He was 6 for 15.
6 for 15.
3 for 5 at the 3.
Uh-huh.
He played 29 minutes.
Okay.
Listen, and they lost. Okay, but listen, that's his first NBA game back.
40% from the field's not bad.
Come on.
You like the way I did that math, though?
Yeah. Oh, so impressive.
6 for 15.
So
let me say this. I've been called a hater online nonstop, especially by my New York peeps.
Yeah.
Because I said the game has evolved. And the game doesn't fit Melo's style of play, right?
Yeah.
So I will give Melo a couple of things. Melo's back to the basket turnaround game, awesome. Mid-range, love it there, right? His trailing behind the play and immediately pull up from the 3, love it there, right?
Yeah.
Some places where Melo struggles, 1, defense, liability.
Okay.
Terrible. And I'm talking about rotations.
Yeah, but who plays defense anymore?
I do. I'm sorry. We're not talking about me.
Clearly we are not.
You're right. Because I didn't feel like playing in the NBA. So, defense, right?
Just like you didn't feel like being president, right?
I didn't. It's just beneath
Tough job.
Beneath me.
Okay, yeah.
So, in addition to that, though,
Yeah.
I did say that Melo's game was too slow for the NBA, but I'm going to get to that in a second. Let me just say this one last point.
Okay.
There were a couple of situations. So, when I'm studying the game, I'm studying dynamics, I'm studying attitude, I'm studying responses to one another, right?
Right.
Several times McCollum, when Damian's out, it's McCollum's team, yes? Okay, so McCollum's going to the basket, and Melo's got his hands out. He's like, yo, what's up? I'm open, not used to being like the 3rd and 4th option. Got it. Cool, totally understandable. But then the quarter's winding down, and Melo waves McCollum off. And McCollum has to cut through and winds up sitting in no man's land in the corner as Melo drives. You ready for this?
Yeah.
Drives and tries to posterize one of the Lopez brothers. And Melo got up about as high as I do. I'm so serious.
Wait.
No, we both dunk. We both dunk, though.
Oh, yeah, see?
Just not that high.
See how you corrected yourself?
I'm waiting on you.
Real quick.
Waiting on you.
Real quick that came.
So there was that, and I also said his game is a little too slow for the NBA because everyone runs, including centers. And there was a point in the game where Melo's talking to one of his assistant coaches, and a lot of people don't know this about me, but I read lips, and I'm not being facetious. I
know.
I
know you do.
Oh, okay.
I know.
So I read that he was like, these motherfuckers are moving too fast. They just take off and run. And he was like, that's not my game. And I'm like, but that's
that is the game.
That's what I've been saying to people.
Yeah.
That's the game now.
Yeah, well, I definitely, I'm not sure how he fits yet. I'm not completely convinced.
And I'm sad for him.
And listen, I know everybody really, really wants this for him. And so do I. Sure. Of course, I always like to see someone succeed. I'm just not fully convinced yet. We're going to have to wait and see what happens.
Okay. And that's what I keep saying. Let's wait and see.
Yeah.
Let's wait and see.
But, all the best to him.
Yeah. It's only been 2 games. I'll be here. Keep sending me the hate threats.
Okay.
All
right.
It's not a threat. They just
so since we're talking about NBA, since it's all about Kansas always, I just have to bring up. Well, first of all, let's just start since we're going to talk about the Sixers and the Knicks quickly.
Big news. Let's hear it. What's the big news?
Big news. Simmons hits a 3.
Ben Simmons hits a 3.
Here we go.
All right, next. So, what else is in news?
No. But against the Knicks. Yeah, for real, though. No, I saw a joke. I saw a joke today on Instagram that was like, Simmons has decided to enter the NBA 3-point contest.
Okay, that's too far. Come on.
So whatever. Funny, haha, whatever. So anyway, but Shiggy Show went off on Instagram saying, for real? Really, Knicks? This is how we do this? We're going to let Simmons hit a 3 against that? Like, it's not bad enough? You let Simmons hit the 3? Come on. That's bad. All right. That's bad. So anyway, but within that game, I have to bring it up because I got plenty of messages about it. Embiid and Morris had a little scuffle. And so...
Why'd you get messages about it?
Oh, I wonder why.
Where'd they go to college?
So my whole thing was I put it on the story because after so many people had sent some messages about them, like, oh, it's your boys, what's going on? So I was like, listen, brothers fight sometimes.
They do.
It's family.
They do.
That's how we roll. So Embiid and Morris, but it wasn't that big of a deal. There was some, but that is how I know you read lips because when I showed you the clip, you were like, Morris was like, stop playing with me. Stop playing with me,
yo.
Yeah.
Stop playing. What's up?
Right. So, anyway. Okay. So.
I'm sorry. I don't know why, but me saying that just now just got me really excited. I'm ready to go out there and shoot some threes. Ben Simmons. And no, okay. I'm going to leave him alone. Let's keep moving.
Oh, my God.
Next in the news, we going to college?
No, Golden State. You want to talk about Golden State?
No, let's wait on that. Let's go to college. Yeah.
What are we doing? Oh, NCAA stuff.
Memphis.
Yeah, so
ugly.
This whole thing. So, I saw another thing today too. It was like super frustrating. As a Kansas fan, D'Souza sat for an entire season for $2,500 and was cleared. Yeah. Right. Yep. But he sat on an entire season, and this was this ongoing battle that was just so frustrating as a fan. And then you see all of a sudden he just gets this, 11 games, and now he has to pay money to a charity. Like, I just don't.
So let's lay it out first, right?
Okay.
So Memphis player, former NBA player, Penny Hardaway. Shout out to Penny Hardaway, is now the head coach of Memphis University's basketball team. Right. Gave this Memphis player money. Oh, I'm sorry. Gave his mother money.
Right.
For the move. Right. What was it? 11,500.
Yeah, something like that.
11,500. Yeah. And the money. The price is. I'm sorry. The amount of money is very important. So it gave the player's mom money to move, and because Penny Hardaway played there before. Yeah. So he's affiliated with the program. He's considered a booster. And as a booster, and I read the language. I studied the entire language of like the NCAA's rules. Once you are affiliated with the program, you are a lifetime booster.
Right.
Period. Right? So he gives the player's mom money to move, and now they asked that the player be suspended. They ignored this suggestion that he be suspended.
Right.
And Memphis played him, and he's a beast, by the way. What is he? He's a 7'1" freshman?
Yeah.
And he's supposed to be one and done, and now they suspended him, how many games?
I think it's 11 or
11 games,
11
and fined him. Not fined, but they are
requesting that he pays that amount of money to a charity, which, what?
Right.
But did you see, which is super interesting, our friends who help with the Game 7 marketing that's based here in New York, they started a GoFundMe, and Jay Williams did a video on Instagram. So they're doing a GoFundMe to raise the money so he does not have to pay it.
Right.
Because Jay is so incredibly against the NCAA, and they just need to go. I'm
sorry.
What?
You ready for this though?
Yeah, tell me.
The NCAA has specifically said that the money cannot come from anyone else but the player. How you like that? You know why, right? You know what it's really about?
Tell me.
It's about undoing the action. So that specific amount of money is to be donated, which means if the money that is to be donated is the same amount and it can only come from the player, then no one else can help. It's about punishing that player.
Okay, but let me ask you a question.
I'm listening.
If there are, according to the NCAA, right, that's a violation of the rules.
Yep.
But now we're saying, okay, you're going to sit for this amount of games, and now you're going to take that specific amount of money that we're saying you're guilty of, and you're going to pay it to a charity, and all's good?
Yeah.
Now you can just play?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, cool. Because before we didn't do that.
So, right.
And maybe in the future we may not do that.
Right.
But for you in particular and Memphis, we're going to do that.
Yep.
So how does that make any sense?
I specifically read the language, right? And in the language, it says the player can be used by the college to be shown off.
Yeah.
The player can sign autographs. The player can sign jerseys. The player can make appearances with under the name of his or her university. However, the player cannot do so individually. So what that sounds like to me is the player belongs to the organization. The player is owned by the organization. I hate the language that's used because it reminds me of something else that happened a long time ago. And I don't want to say it.
Yeah. I know.
Right?
I know. Yeah.
But,
yeah.
And it's ugly.
No, but this is the whole underlying issue with the NCAA, and it's so infuriating. Like, these top programs, these blue bloods, are pulling in so much money, and a lot of it has to do with these players. I mean, people are tuning in because he's a 7-foot freshman and he's a beast, like you just said. So we're tuning in because of him. And what is he getting from all of this?
And you know
he's
what the
getting
argument
exploited.
Is? You know what the argument is? They're not getting exploited.
No, because they're getting an education
for a year before they go to the NBA.
And they're not even come on, let's be real.
Right, because technically speaking,
do they go to class?
Why do I need to go do these electives or these core classes if I'm already technically a professional in training in my field and this teaches me nothing, right?
It's crazy.
It's exploitation at its best.
100%.
And the language of it, I'm telling you, the language of it is very ugly.
Yeah.
Very ugly.
Listen, I am so happy that Jay Will is speaking out on it and is I mean, he's brutal. And I'm so happy.
Good.
Because he has the platform to do it. And I'm happy that he's using that because we need it. Because this has got to stop. This is ridiculous. I mean, I watched a documentary and they were interviewing, and it's not just basketball. It's football. I mean, we're talking about major athletes at major programs across the country. And, he said, I can't remember which football player it was at the moment, but he said they won, I feel like it was like an Auburn player or something like that, a big program. And he said they won this huge game and he's walking across campus and he's getting stopped for photos and autographs and everything. And he said he got back to his dorm room and his fridge was empty. He had no food, no money, and he can't even ask for it.
No.
Because by rules, no one can buy you food, no one can buy you drink, no one can buy you anything.
Basically what you are when you sign up for an NCAA athlete or athletic job is you are an exclusive piece of the money-making machine for the college.
Yeah.
And that is ugly language. And I'm going to say it. It reminds me of slavery. I'm going to say it.
Of course.
And the reason I'm going to say that is because even during slavery, some of the strongest slaves were the wrestling and fighting entertainment.
Right.
And they were exclusively pieces of the plantation. Right. And they could not do anything independent of that plantation. They could not make their own money, obviously. And it's like they're strictly being exploited.
Yeah.
That's all I'm going to say for now. We're coming back to that in the future. Tune in.
Yeah, for sure.
Tune in.
100%.
Yes. What's next?
Golden State.
Is it? Are you sure?
Why?
I feel like I don't want to rip them apart just yet.
Why?
Yep, Golden State is next. So actually, can we talk about what's in news before we go to Golden State?
What?
There was a big tournament. What was that, last weekend?
Spooky Nook, yeah.
Yeah, shout out to Spooky Nook because Spooky Nook hosts some of the best tournaments in the nation for
children. And then
isn't
Made Hoops this weekend?
Is it? Where?
At Spooky Nook.
Again? No? Spooky Nook again?
I don't know. I could be wrong.
You could be right.
Why, thank you.
Okay.
I feel like that was a compliment in a weird way because you never would say that to me. But
it's not going to happen again.
But I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
So there were a lot of winners. What division is this? I don't know.
I know. There's so many. It's hard.
I know
Gauchos, so many teams.
Gauchos won 12U.
Okay.
Shout out to Gauchos for 12U. Slam City B-Ball won the 13U, right?
Okay.
Thrill Black won the 10U championship.
Okay.
Wow, they beat Team Durant. Sorry.
Huh.
WER1 won the 9U championship. Shout out to them. 8U champions, the Maryland Bucks.
Okay.
Right? 8th grade champs, Team Thrill. I knew about that. I feel like I'm missing someone.
Wasn't there what did you send me about A-game super shootout?
But that's the tournament it was.
Oh, right. My bad.
So
yeah,
no.
Yeah.
It's just a specific picture.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
You're right.
Thrills length. So again, Team Thrill. Yep.
Okay.
8th grade champions. So shout out to all the champions. Wow.
AAU, baby.
AAU basketball has been intense.
It's heating up.
Yeah, and there's conversations about AAU basketball.
Oh, my.
Yeah, we'll get to that. So
can you just get Golden State out of the way so we can get to it?
They're terrible. How about that? You ready?
Listen, I don't even care one way or another about Golden State. I never have. And if anything, I've spoken out just about how, as far as the youth are concerned, our children are concerned, and the kids they play with, I mean, I feel like it's annoying because as soon as they step on the court, all they want to do is shoot a three because they see Curry. Yep. So, and he changed the game. And I'll never forget when Davidson played Kansas. and that I know.
How
I just had to,
Kansas
but
right
no,
now?
because he looked like he was 8 years old, and he just kept shooting that three, and it was just, we couldn't defend it. And it was crazy. I mean, even now, look at him. He looks
he's
like
still the baby face assassin with hair on his face. It's like he's wearing a costume.
It's crazy.
So,
but I don't care whether it doesn't matter to me, but I know you say that you've called this.
I did call it. I did say that their dynasty was going to end soon. Not only because most dynasties have their time,
sure,
but honestly, the main reason was Draymond Green. Yeah. His personality is very strong. He's very aggressive.
Yes.
I love the way he plays basketball. He's not a very talented basketball player, but he's a hard worker, right? And it proves that being a hard worker can go a long way in any league. But I also think his attitude is what kind of started to tear the team apart, right? And it started with Kevin Durant, who admitted that his interaction with Draymond Green
is why, he decided to go.
Yep. So I knew that was going to happen.
Right.
I did not foresee these injuries, but load management.
Here we go.
Load management. And I do think, first of all, Kevin Durant playing in that championship game, not a great idea. We spoke about that.
Right.
Klay Thompson, Steph Curry, load management. I believe we could have saved these players had they taken some nights off. How many games, how many championships are you going to win, right? And that's an ugly thing to say because you never want to teach your kids, take a break, because we work hard. We want our kids to work hard, right? But with the same token, and you're always telling me, you got to preserve yourself. Mm-hmm. It's a long journey. So load management, right? Shout out to my man, Hector Almadova, who has been all over the Beyond the Journal comments, promoting the opposite of load management.
Thank you for weighing in, because everybody's opinion is important.
A lot of people weighed in.
Yeah, a lot of people. Wait, but before we get to that real quick, did you see I saw in the news, I think it was yesterday or today, that they're saying KD may come back this year?
I don't think that. So we're doing that again?
I
don't
mean,
think that's a good idea.
I know.
I'll call him later.
But I'm just saying, yeah, okay, whatever, dude. I'm just saying it's interesting that those rumors are starting, and it'll be interesting to see, would he even dare?
But why do we want to see that?
No. No, I'm not saying I want to see him play. I'm just saying, would he even? Is he really, truly? I mean, rumors are rumors. Who knows how valid it is?
It's a bad investment.
But I'm just saying it. I mean, could he possibly be considering that? I don't know. Anyway, that leads us to load management, right?
Right.
So we have had several people reach out. Some not as brave as others who remain in the DMs, who do not want to show their face in the light of the comment section.
Right.
However, everybody has their own opinion. Mm-hmm.
We've had parents, coaches, players, we've had a lot of people commenting.
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah. So, what do you think about it? So Heck does not believe in load management.
No, he doesn't.
So, I also.
And he's a top coach in the country.
Right.
Period.
Right. And he is not for it.
He also has 3 sons who, in their age ranges, they are all in the top 10, and his oldest son is in the top 3 in the country.
Right.
So it's like you have to take some of this into consideration. He might be onto something. However, a lot of people disagree with him, and he does not care.
No, which is good. Hey, listen, if you believe in something, stick by it. I get that. But I'm going to have to just go ahead and say I disagree.
Okay, fair enough.
I mean, I believe that there is life outside of basketball when you're 10.
And that's honestly what I want to talk about today. Right? Mm-hmm. The social life of the child athlete.
Right. But listen, everybody has, this is what I continuously say to everyone and anyone who has reached out to me to talk about load management. You know, one of my friends who is also a diehard KU fan, who I appreciate his perspective very much, he reached out and said, look at Tiger Woods, look at Serena and Venus, right. So this is not new. This is not a new topic, right? No. So there are parents who are fully into it and who push their kids, and there are no days off, and this is your only option. So I get it, and I'm not judging. And I think you have to do what's best for your family. And if your kid, I know that there are some kids who thrive in that environment. There are others who don't. So I think you have to do what's best for you and your family and what you think is best. And listen, I think as parents, you and I could both agree, you do what you can with what you got at the time, right? And hindsight's 20/20, but we just are doing the best that we can. So, if Heck feels strongly about that and he feels like his kids are thriving in that environment, then more power to him.
Right. He's not wrong for it.
No.
Especially when it's working for him.
Yeah, sure. Right? If it's working for them and they seem to love it. So that's great. I'm just saying, let's see what happens in 10 years.
Okay.
Let's
see what happens in 10 years. Speaking of which,
yes.
Right? So now you have these child athletes
yes.
in an atmosphere which we spoke about in the first episode, in an atmosphere where it's all about who works the longest and who works the hardest, right? That person is closer to the goal, right? But I take a different approach in parenting, right? Mm-hmm. As do you. Mm-hmm. I'm more about making my children more well-rounded.
Right.
Right. So it's not just about one sport. Perhaps they'll play a couple of sports. My sons are into chess. We play board games. We have discussions about a lot of different approaches to make them well-rounded people.
Right.
But there's one aspect that I see missing from a lot of players, and that's the social aspect.
Right.
Besides school and your teammates in basketball, what are our kids doing? You know how many birthday parties my sons have skipped? Right? Because who skips a tournament game to go to a birthday party? Who skips practice to go to a family function? And the kids who do, I can remember thinking as a coach, what? You skip this to go to a party? You don't go to a party, bro. We got practice. And now that I'm not coaching, and I said I was taking a year off. Let's see how long that lasts. But now that I'm not coaching, I question my own reaction.
Right.
Are kids supposed to have a social life? And I definitely ask you that question.
That's the other part of it, right? So, like, back to Heck again. Like, Heck is a coach.
Yes.
So
and a dad.
Right, of course. But so his eye is on the prize, right? So I get that. Like, he has a goal in mind. He's driven, and that's what he's focused on right now. I'm not a coach.
Okay.
So I have taken a big step back from that. So, my perspective is, probably different from his. And also, let's just be real honest. He's at Riverside.
Riverside is a top.
Okay, so they're champions.
Yeah,
many
times over.
Right, and so do you expect anything else? I mean, anything less than that? So there's also, I'm sure, consciously and possibly subconsciously pressure there to win.
Right.
You got to win.
And let's be honest, Heck is the head of the basketball program there. Like, he's the head honcho. He's a big deal.
Right. So
he's also my friend.
Oh my gosh, really?
He's my friend.
No, but
he's gonna be so embarrassed when he hears this too.
No, but you just said that like does that make you cool?
That makes him cool. He's my friend. No, I'm just joking. That does make me cool though.
Oh.
I know Heck. So,
okay.
so I'm a big deal. Nah, so okay, so we asked about the social life, right?
I could not with you.
So you and I agree that children should have a social life. I think social skills are extremely important for children, and I think specifically these younger generations now, with the technology having as much of an influence on children's lives and people's lives in general, that a lot of people only interact via the internet. And so the interpersonal skills that happen face to face are not developing. So we need to have our kids in these atmospheres where they can interact with one another and learn to read people's facial expressions and learn to understand people's body energy and your aura. You know what I mean?
We just talked about this the other day. Like, emotional EQ, emotional IQ is severely lacking, I feel like, in this generation. Like, mindfulness and breathing and active listening, all of these things are just, they don't know how to do them.
They don't know how to do it. They don't. And I see it all the time when I'm playing video games online. A kid will come into a room, and this is the nerd in me. For those of you who don't know, I love video games. I've always loved video games since I couldn't even afford them, right? No, that's the truth. We shouldn't laugh at that.
No, I'm laughing. I wasn't laughing about that. I was laughing because you're such a nerd.
Shout out to your compassion. So
wow.
So I sit in these not in these chat rooms, but like in the lobby when I'm waiting for Call of Duty to start. And a kid will walk in and he's like, "What's up, Jizz?" And I'm like, "Well, you could just say hi, kid. Like, what's up? Like, why I gotta be the B word, bro?" And it's this social awkwardness where it's like you can't come in vulnerably and just say hi. You have to be insulting and lead with an insult. And I know that, to you it may sound like a reach, but like I can step into a chat room and be like, "What's up, everybody?" and be fine about it. But to another kid, he's like, "I don't want to sound nerdy, so I'm going to curse everybody out." Right? That's like, okay, you're looking at me crazy, but this is true stuff. I've lived this life.
I know.
You can't tell me my truth. You don't know me. Okay, I'm going too far. But seriously.
Oh, my goodness.
I'm sorry. I'm shot out of a cannon.
What is happening tonight?
I'm sorry. I'm excited about this topic. Oh. Okay, so let's switch gears then. Yes, they need social gatherings, right? Birthday parties, right?
You have to be a kid.
Remember, we went to birthday parties.
So here is my
the doggy bag. Yeah, remember the doggy bag?
Yeah, but
with the whack toys? They were cheap toys. Sorry, keep going.
Here is my thing. Okay, so let's just pretend basketball, right? It's always basketball. Here's my thing. If you are 10 and you cannot have fun, period, in any aspect of your life, like if you're always working and you're always playing basketball and you're not having any outlet for fun, you're in trouble, because especially with the game. Because as you get older, it just gets more intense, more practices before school, after school. But you have to keep up your grades. And then you have conditioning. Then you have weight room. Then you have nutrition. Then you got to get enough sleep, but your practice doesn't end till 9:45, and then you have a train ride home for 25 minutes, and then you are starving. You haven't eaten, so what are you eating at 10:30 at night? And then you have homework still to do, and this is crazy, and we're talking high school. Yeah. So if you at 10 cannot have fun,
right?
Where's your fun coming from when you're 15, 17, 19?
I totally agree with you. Do you even understand? I don't think most people understand why it's so important to have these social experiences. Ask me why.
Why?
I'll tell you why.
Oh, please do.
I'm going to. So the reason why
what is happening?
When life gets difficult in your 20s and your 30s, some of the things, so life is hard. You're going to fall a lot, right? You're going to trip over stuff. Things are going to hit you hard. And the cushion, the thing you fall back on are your memories, your childhood memories. I truly believe the only thing you're going to have at the end of your life is your bonds. And hold on, this is really important, is your bonds and your memories, right? So if these kids don't have memories to build upon when they get to their 20s and their 30s, they're going to have a nervous breakdown. They're going to be stressed out. They're going to freak out because all they've done is work. And they're going to have a midlife crisis at 25. I've actually seen that happen.
Yeah.
All right, you go.
No. I wasn't even going to interrupt you. I was just taking a breath.
Oh, okay.
I was just breathing. Is that allowed?
No. So hold your breath.
No, but listen, we could go even deeper into that topic because I feel like this generation is so coddled and there's so much they're soft and there's so much entitlement and there's not as much discipline and there's so many things. So what happens is, I don't know if you've seen any of the articles, but there's the stories of the kid who's applying for his first job, whose mom escorts him to his first job interview.
What?
And the HR manager came out to the lobby and they were like, "What's happening?" And she's like, "Yeah, this is my son," and she was speaking for him. And
no.
Yes, and this is not uncommon. These parents are so overly involved, and then what happens is these children are controlled by their parents, really, and they're constantly seeking approval, and it's a mess. It's a mess.
That kind of turns me off.
Kind of.
Lie to you.
It's bad. So I don't know. That's a whole different show. So we could go deep with that. But
I think we should. So now, okay, let me push you a little bit. We're talking about social experiences. Yes.
Yes.
Can our kids date? Can they date? You heard me.
Yeah, but when?
You tell me.
They're
When's the proper age for a kid to start dating?
Ooh, I don't know. That's tough these days. It scares me.
I believe you because these kids are way more advanced than we were.
They are and they aren't. They're way more exposed, but they're not.
They're not as advanced. You're right.
Yeah, yes and no. Uh-huh. So they are exposed to a lot more. Like the stuff in the rap songs that they're listening to, like Connor is running around screaming, and I'm like,
how old is Connor? Let people know.
8. And the things that he is saying, and I'm like, oh wow.
Yep.
I never knew any of that.
Yep.
I mean, I listened to the songs that were like nasty, freaky, crazy songs when I was a kid, and I listened to them now, and I'm like, that was nothing compared to what you hear now, and you're hearing it on the radio. So listen, so they're exposed to a lot more,
even
a
the
lot
video
sooner.
Games. Look at the characters.
Yeah.
Voluptuous.
Wow. Did we have to do that?
Sorry.
Oh my God, that was hilarious. So they're exposed to a lot more, a lot sooner, but they're also super naive too.
Yeah.
So it's like this weird. I don't know. It's hard.
I mean, I was listening.
I don't know.
At 11,
dating, I can't even think about.
My cousin Derek and I were listening to Snoop Dogg's Doggy Style album.
Yeah. At
11. I think that was highly inappropriate. I've questioned my aunt and my mom's about parenting skills twice over.
Listen, just like I said before, they did the best that they could with what they knew at the time.
So listen, I say 15, 16. That's when they can start dating.
Yeah, but here's the problem.
Oh boy, here we go.
Here's the problem with that.
Okay.
When do we have time for that? If we're ball players and books are very much important. So we are student athletes, not athlete students. We are student athletes. So we have to study. We have to keep our grades up.
Yep.
And we have a lot of practices. And we have games. But here's the thing. So, speaking of, I know that Reem's mother said that
shout out to the fam.
Yeah, love them. So when I was having a conversation with her, I love her. She is hilarious and real and just the best. But there's girls
all over the place.
All over them.
They love
waiting outside of practice.
Yeah.
They are taking videos. Mel is sitting at his desk.
Yep.
In a class dancing, and there's a girl at the window of the classroom door taking a video of him dancing.
They're adorable kids.
I'm
sorry, Reem. You are a handsome young man. Sorry, Magic Mel. You're a handsome young man.
No, they are adorable.
No, they're
and the personalities are so great. So and their parents are great, and everything's great about them. So it is challenging, and I've talked to her. I said, "You are in so much trouble. Yep. You are in so much trouble." So I'm just going to follow their lead. I'm just going to be honest. I'm just going to follow their lead because they seem to have it down.
So you're going to let your sons date? At what age?
I don't know that they're dating.
Magic Mel has had we interviewed him and he said he had a girlfriend.
Yes, that's not real. Is that real? What does that mean?
So my son.
What does that mean?
My 10-year-old son.
Yeah.
My oldest twin does not have his cell phone. He has had it taken twice in the past month because the time I gave it back, as soon as I gave it back, at least 5 girls were calling his phone. FaceTime, text message, phone calls. What? Mm-mm. What is going on this phone? And mind you, the girls that were blowing up his phone, 3 grades ahead of him.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, I'm not ready for that kind of.
You're in trouble.
So
you're in trouble.
So I'm happy that he's too busy to be on his phone, right? But with the same token, will he get to a certain age and be socially awkward around girls and lose out? Am I doing that? Am I that kind of dad?
They're your sons.
They are. What the hell was I supposed to mean?
They're socially awkward.
I mean,
you're not now.
I had self-esteem issues at 14.
Yeah, I get it, but they see you now.
Oh wow, wow.
Really? Wow, yeah, we gotta go.
We're running low.
So let's move on.
Okay.
Let's finish this.
Sorry, kids, you can't date.
Exactly.
So quickly before we go, we did want to talk about the unfortunate event that happened in the NFL.
Yeah.
And now, did you want to bring that in?
No, go ahead.
I mean, so now you get hit with the hell. It's funny because I complain that NFL players.
So first of all, say what you're talking about. I mean, we're talking about the Browns defensive end,
right?
Myles Garrett, and taking the helmet and smashing Mason Rudolph, the quarterback of the Steelers, or whatever, hitting. Yeah. Sorry, whatever. I'm not whatever. Hit him during that Monday Night Football brawl.
Yeah. So technically speaking, Myles was kicked in the groin area. There was an attempt to take off his helmet. And supposedly he's claiming there was a racial slur. Now the quarterback is claiming he didn't say the N-word. It's very important that we talk about the language here. Mm-hmm. Myles says there was a racial slur. Now that could be a number of things. But the quarterback responds, specifically responds, I did not say the N-word. Mm-hmm. And now everyone is ready to absolve him of any guilt.
Including the NFL, which means nothing, but I'm just throwing it out there.
But the language of it is different, right? He didn't say a racial slur.
Right.
He said, I didn't say the N-word, which is very specific, as opposed to the racial slur, which could include a lot of different things. So I'm still not convinced, but I would like to hear what the boom microphones have to show, because the NFL is notorious.
Are they releasing that? Are they going to release that?
I doubt it.
Yeah.
I doubt it. It's like the military police. You know, they keep it.
Yeah,
I don't know why I brought them in. That was a lot to do that. But I will say, even in the heat of the moment, the helmet thing was a bit extreme. The damage that could have happened is crazy.
Yeah.
Right? And it looks ugly. But he's not the only person who should be suspended there. The quarterback should get at least a game or two. Regardless of the whether he said a racial slur or not, he should get a game or two for his actions. And the linemen, there should be, if you I believe in zero tolerance in that instance, because you don't want that.
Right.
Not just, And I believe they're grown men. They're hyped up on adrenaline, testosterone. However, my kids watch this game, right? Your kids watch this game. These kids watch this game and want to be these guys. And no matter what we tell them, they want to be these guys. So I think more than just the helmet smasher should get, to use your words, should get suspension. Right?
Right.
So
Yeah, it's a lot. I mean, this is an age-old issue that is this is just another instance of it, and it's disappointing. It's upsetting.
Do you think if he said the N-word, he was justified?
So
Talk about it.
Yeah, I struggle with that, and not we talked about this a little bit offline, and my friend's perspective on it, and when he shared his perspective, I had to pause a minute, and he said, he's been called that word, and he stayed very calm. He has clearly mastered self-control. I mean, but he was in a calm moment. Like, he's not a football player who's like tackling people and, like being physical and I don't want to say violent, but, physical in the moment. So that may change things, but it's so, it's difficult. I understand how much weight is behind that word.
Yeah,
I understand. I get it. I just think the whole thing is unfortunate, and I don't know, and we weren't there, and we don't know what happened, and I don't want to see. I hate all of it.
Right.
Like, I'm a hippie. Like, I just want love and peace and happiness, and I know that's not realistic, but no, it's inappropriate to use that word. Period. No matter what, there is absolutely no excuse for it ever, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. I hate that word. But is there what?
Keep going.
Is there? I don't know. I just, me. I just never feel like violence is never the answer.
Yeah, I don't agree with you on that. But I just wish.
I know you don't. But
I wish for him that didn't happen, because now that's
me
a stain.
too.
That's a stain.
Yeah, and that sucks for him, because I feel like, am I incorrect? But he has like a super clean record. Like, he's a good guy, he
did. Yeah.
Did.
So I wish him the best.
So why would he say that if it's not true? I mean, I don't know. We could go deeper and deeper in this, but I don't know.
Unfortunately,
let's talk about it.
We're low on time.
Yes.
Right? So before we get out of here, I do want to say, please, when we post on Beyond the Journal, feel free to not only chime in on the issues we bring up, but also if you have topics that you want us to touch upon, please.
Yeah, let us know.
Send them to us. We are all about that. All right.
Yeah, we definitely want to talk about that. And we're on Instagram at beyond underscore the underscore
the journal.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
So beyond underscore the underscore journal, and it's the Ballers Journal, same, the underscore Ballers underscore journal. And then we have our personal Instagrams, which are on there. You can find us there. So feel free to DM. Comment, whatever. Let us know what you want to talk about, what you want to learn about, what you want to hear about.
Yep.
Because we're all about it.
You got it. And thank you for tuning in. It's always a blessing to have you guys with us.
Yes.
And we look forward to many more shows. And we're bringing in some guests. We've already got a few lined up. And be ready. This is going to get intense. The issues are only going to get more intense, but we are trying to bring back community. So in order to bring back community, we've got to talk about the issues that keep us apart. So tune in next time. You want to take us away, please? Yeah.
Okay. So, with the whole quote thing, we like to do a quote at the end. And so this whole NFL issue really got to me. And I was going to talk about balance because we were talking about load management and everything. But then I saw, Maya Angelou was like, I love her.
Yep.
So there were two that I pulled really quickly, but Maya's is hate. It has caused a lot of problems in the world, but has not solved one yet. So I felt like that's
true, actually.
It's so true. See, love is so much stronger. And then Nelson Mandela, just to follow that up, said, no one is born hating another person because of the color of his skin or his background or his religion. People learn to hate. And if they can learn to hate, they can be taught to love. For love comes more naturally to the human heart than its opposite.
That's a beautiful selection.
And that is and I truly, truly believe that. And I feel that so very strongly. So peace, love, and happiness.
All day. Thank you very much for tuning in.
Next time, we'll be back.
Beyond the Sorry.
Am I supposed to? What you need? Nobody told me anything. I'm trying. Yeah, like nobody told me nothing.
We're good. We're done. We're out.
We just cleared.
Cut.
Oh yeah, you can take your headphones off and no lie. I stopped it and no lie.
Okay.
Yo, yeah.
She's hilarious.